Good evening, everyone. Sorry that this was a little bit later than expected. I had some technical issues. Anyway, this is my first time doing this, so I normally post translation videos on my YouTube channel, but I decided that I was going to try to do some streaming, so I did this little anime podcast. This is like my first time doing this, so I think the audio should be good. I tested it earlier, but we'll have to see because, yeah. Anyway, I'm just going to talk about anime a little bit. Before we get into that, I just want to say that there are going to be some chat rules, but they're going to be pretty basic, just like don't be rude to other people, and no spamming, and no personal conversation because I don't think that's very necessary. Anyway, I want to say thanks for 400 subscribers because I never imagined that so many people would follow me. It's crazy that so many people have. I mean, I just translate things, so 400 is a really big amount of people for me, and I've only been doing it for like almost 2 years now, so I think it's moved along a lot faster than I expected. I'm going to talk about some anime that are coming out now. One of my favorites is the new ones that I've been watching is Zenshu. It's an anime about an animator who gets isekai'd into her favorite anime. It's very interesting. I think it's interesting to have a female character as the lead in isekai because we don't see that much. Most of the main characters in isekai are boys. So she's like an anime nerd, so it's kind of interesting. And she ends up animating things as like her magic or whatever in the story. At first, it was really confusing because I thought for sure that it would be a romance anime. The first trailer made everybody think that it was going to be like a romance anime because they didn't show any of the isekai stuff in the first trailer. It was just like her as an animator, and the description seemed like it was going to be romance anime for sure. And then second trailer came along, and it was there was like an isekai world, and she was in it. So I was so confused at the time because it seemed completely different than the first trailer. It was like really surprising, and it turns out that the anime is an isekai, but it's also a love story, so it's really both. It's different than what you think from the first trailer, but I think a lot of people will pass by this anime because there's so many isekai coming out. I think that a lot of people will not watch it because there's just so many, but honestly I think that Zenshu is a different one. Like, I think that people should try it because honestly it's been pretty funny, and like this character design is interesting too because she always wears her hair in her face, and they didn't even think that she was a human whenever she first showed up. And so whenever she's animating stuff though, they do show her eyes. They show her eyes sometimes now, but especially in the first episode, her hair was always in her face. I think it's a pretty interesting character quirk that she has. And it was kind of weird whenever they was like, she comes from the real world. Like, what is the real world like in the anime? It was very interesting. Honestly, like, my favorite isekai probably, or I think, in my opinion, the best one right now is ReZero because I think it does isekai stuff the best. I think that what isekai do, it kind of does the best, like with the whole going back by death thing. I think it does really well. And the third season of ReZero is it's definitely peaked so far. It's been exciting the whole time. The action has moved so fast compared to the first few seasons. But it seems like in ReZero, the action always builds. Like, the situation just gets worse and worse and worse until he eventually, brings together a group of people and they solve it. But it just keeps getting, like, more problems just keep being added. It's like the situation tends to just grow more and more intense. It's crazy. It's like it's impossible to overcome what Subaru has to overcome in ReZero. I like all the characters, but Rim is probably my favorite. I really like Subaru, obviously, is the main character, and he's a really good character. I like Beatrice, too, though. I think her flashback was really interesting, and I think that her story is really interesting. And I like the scene where Subaru freed her as well. And honestly, from the start, I did not think she would be a spirit. So that's interesting too. I wasn't expecting that from the beginning. I feel like there's a lot of things that I don't catch in the beginning. Like, I had no idea that Otto would become a main character. Like, whenever he was first shown, I thought he's just gonna be a background character. But I guess from his character design, you could kind of guess that he would be an important character to the story. And I didn't catch that he could talk to animals before they showed that part. Because at first, like, he did talk to Padre a little bit in some of the scenes, but he would, like, translate for Subaru. But other than that, I didn't notice that till, like, after they actually, like, explained it and showed his flashback. But I think they did kind of hint at it a bit before then. And, like, the latest episode of ReZero was, like, so awesome. Like, I completely caught up when Subaru and Reinhardt broke in on the wedding. It's gonna be pretty cool, I bet. I'm really excited. I think it's coming out February 5th. Again, I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's when it's coming back out. I'm really excited for it to come back out. Also, I don't know if anyone's seen, but they did carnival designs. Not just for ReZero, though. They did it for Oshinoko and The Summer Hikaru Died, and a bunch of other anime, too. And, so they have, like, Rim and Rom and Amelia dressed as clowns. They look kind of silly. I think the Oshinoko characters look the silliest, though. Like, they looked really silly dressed as clowns. They were kind of cute, but they definitely looked really silly. I like the hat they gave Amelia, though. I think they did a good job with her hat. Like the little hat, the little clown hat is cute. Anyway, another really good new anime is Sakamoto Days, and I've only watched the first episode, but everyone talked about it for so long. Like, everyone was so hyped to see it, and it was honestly, like, more exciting than I thought. Like, from the description, it seems like it's going to be a lot like The House Husband. But obviously Sakamoto's not Yakuza. He's a hitman. They're almost the same thing. They're not quite the same thing. They're almost the same thing, though. They're close enough to be similar, like, and he doesn't want to be a hitman anymore. It seems like it's going to be, he's, like, good at doing, like, chores and stuff, so he is a lot like The House Husband in that regard, but it's a different feel to the story a little bit. Like, it's probably going to be more focused on, like, fighting than The House Husband, because House Husband is mostly just, like, straight up comedy. House Husband is really funny, though. It's definitely hilarious. Sakamoto Days, I think it was interesting how, like, the first part of the episode, they did that really neat. Like, he was so, like, serious in the first part of the episode, and, like, everybody feared him, and then the next part, he was, like, so settled down, and it was like, he's out of shape, that's what they said. It was really, the contrast was pretty good. It was a good intro into the series. I think they did that good. And, like, seeing Sakamoto fight, like, what he fights with is crazy. Like, him fighting with chopsticks and stuff. And obviously, even though he's kind of settled down, he's obviously still very strong. Like, he did save Shin, so that was awesome. It's gonna be silly. I can just tell it's gonna be action packed, but also silly. And I've only watched a small amount, so, like, one episode is not really much to tell me much about, like, the story, where the story's gonna go, but I can get where it's gonna go. I think it's gonna be pretty good. And also, there's another manga about a hitman in Shonen Jump that's actually pretty interesting, because he's a hitman who he became a schoolboy. He got sent back to, like, middle school, and anyway, he's part of, like, home economics club and stuff, and he's, like, taking up a whole transition in his life. Like, he, like, in the story now, like, the story's been going on for a little. Apprentice. I think we had a connection problem. I apologize for that. I don't know if my internet might be bad or something. OBS just had a problem, so I apologize for that. I don't know what got cut out of the stream, if anything got cut out. So anyway, we were just talking about the manga where the hitman was in school and his apprentice came. And eventually his apprentice is like, obviously he's obsessed with everything that his teacher does, so he was like, he became good at like schoolwork and stuff, and then the hitman was like, his name is Juzo actually, I should have mentioned his name. He was like, my student has finally surpassed me or something like that. And yeah, that's an interesting story for sure. Anyway, another shonen manga, in Shonen Jump I mean, that I really, really enjoy is Blue Box. And I've been reading Blue Box literally since the day it came out. Like, I read the very first chapter, so seeing the anime was very special to me. It was incredible, because, I don't know, it just meant a lot whenever I've read it from the very beginning. And everyone really likes it because it's so, like, refreshing compared to all the new stuff that's coming out. It's just like a breather from the typical, like, anime stuff. And it's a good cross between romance and sports anime. I honestly like sports anime a lot because all the characters in sports anime are very good characters. Like, I don't think there's a single bad character, like in Blue Lock. I think all the characters in Blue Lock, like even the minor characters, they all have something going for them. They're all very cool. And pretty much every sports manga that I've read is that way. The characters are usually pretty good. Blue Box, I think I'm really happy that they did the full 24 episode season because 12 episodes would not be enough. It would definitely not be enough. Blue Box is just so good. I like that they did the big season. And I think it was good that they fit Hina's confession into the season because I think that's a pivotal moment that a lot of people are excited for, or excited to see anyway. And I'm glad they put that in there. Honestly, one of my favorite parts, I won't say it's my favorite because there's so many good parts, but one of my favorite parts is the part after Hina confessed to him where Taiki is outside of his house and he's just like groaning really loudly because he's in his mind, he's not paying attention to what he's doing in real life, and his mom sees him. And that was just like so funny. That really cracked me up. I don't even know why. It was just so funny. It's one of the funniest parts. And I also like how Taiki thought that Haru and Chinatsu were dating for the longest time. And then whenever he found out that Haru had a girlfriend, he was relieved, obviously. I think that there's a lot of stuff going on in the manga that I'm excited to see in the anime that hasn't happened in the anime yet. And it's cool to see it in the anime. It's very, like, it's awesome to watch Blue Box. The manga, the way the manga's formatted, that's also very nice. Like, even the scenes where they're playing badminton and basketball, like, they look so intense. Like, even like the sweat on the characters is drawn. It's very cool. I think the manga's done very well. Like, I feel like the anime's done a good job though of being close to the manga compared to a lot of like other anime. I think that it's pretty much exact, honestly. I can't think of any scenes that were changed off the top of my head. It's very, just like a nice, like, wholesome story, I guess. All the characters are relatable. Even, like, especially the main character, Taiki, he's, like, super relatable. I think everybody can relate to him, honestly. Like, he goes through at least something that he goes through in the story. I think everybody can relate to. Definitely. So, yeah, and anime that I'm, like, excited for, there's a lot of them. I think I mentioned this earlier, but the Summer Hikaru died looks like it's gonna be very good. Like, the trailer looked really good, really, like, almost, it's gonna be a horror anime. The trailer looked intense. It looks like it's gonna be a suspense, A lot of people say that the manga's really good. I have not read the manga. I only watched the trailer, so I don't really know that much about the actual story. But the manga is really popular, and also I've seen fan animations on YouTube, so that just shows you how popular it is. Like, I had heard about it a long time ago before the anime got announced, just off of like people on YouTube posting about it. So it's definitely gonna be big, and I think the anime is gonna be very interesting. Horror anime genuinely are. I don't know if there is actually a lot of horror anime, but I think it's definitely going to be one of the better ones. Also, another isekai, Solo Leveling. I haven't watched season 2 yet because I watched it in English, and I'm waiting for the English dub. But season 1, it was pretty cool. It's very different than normal isekai, I think. At least I think that is different than normal isekai. It's more like a modern isekai. It's weird how the worlds are more conjoined almost, like the raiding world and the real world. You know, like they bring stuff from one. They go between both of them. That makes it different. But it got pretty intense. Like ReZero does this too, though. Like it got pretty intense pretty fast. Like in those raids, they were killing each other pretty fast. Honestly, like, bad stuff goes down, like, pretty fast in the story. Like, the main character is already, like, having to make very difficult decisions very early on in the story. It felt so short to me, though, 12 episodes, because when I first started watching Solo Leveling, it already had a few episodes, I think. And, I was watching them as they came out every week. And it just went by so fast. It did not feel like I was watching it for very long. So I'm excited for the next season of that as well. I don't know how long it'll take to get English dub, but it should be interesting. And Kaiju number 8 season 2, I think it's coming out in July. Now they're gonna get a movie, but I think the movie is going to be mostly old material and just like a small amount of new content. I don't think the movie's gonna be a lot of new story, which is kind of sad, but I can understand it. The second season is probably gonna be pretty good. The first season was definitely very interesting. At the end of the first season, they introduced a new character, Genarumi. I think he's gonna be, I don't know this, but I think he's gonna be a very important part of the second season, because they wouldn't have introduced him at the end, I don't think, if he wasn't. The way that they like introduce his character at the end, I think he's gonna be very important to the second season. There are a lot of good scenes in Kaiju number 8, though. It's a good watch, also. I wonder if the second season they're gonna do the opening theme in English again. I think that was a good idea. I think that a lot more people listen to the opening theme in English just because more people in the world speak English than they do Japanese, which I personally, I like English songs and Japanese songs, but I think there's a lot of people that like to be able to sing along to songs that they more so understand, maybe. I don't know, I feel like doing the English opening and ending was good for Kaiju no Break because it was different, and I think that it was a good move on their part. Like, I think a lot of people listen to the songs that haven't even watched the show, for sure. I think there are some anime that are like that, though. There are some anime songs that I've listened to that I don't even know, like, what anime they're to. Probably the new anime that I am most excited for is Takobi's Original Sin, because it's the darkest story that I've ever read. It is heartbreaking. If you do not cry when you watch it, you don't have a heart. I'm sorry, but you don't. I mean, I read the manga and cried, so it's very dark. I wouldn't recommend it if you don't like things that are very deep in that sense. Like, a lot of dark stuff happens. If you're like very emotional like that and can't handle stuff like that, I wouldn't watch it. You probably wouldn't be able to stop thinking about it because some really horrible stuff happens in it. But if you can handle that kind of stuff, yeah, I definitely watch it. It'll definitely make you cry. It's so sad. The octopus, well, actually, he's not an octopus. I keep calling him an octopus. He's a Happian. The Happian, which he is Takobi, but the Happian comes down to Earth, and I think there's a lot of lessons to be learned in the story because he tries to use like easy methods and stuff to kind of like bring happiness to everybody, and he tries to like meddle with things. Sorry, he meddles with things and like he tries to make people happy, but he ends up just making like death and despair. So it's kind of like a lesson to not like. There's a lot of lessons. It's like a lesson to not like fiddle with things too much because honestly, he made them worse. I won't spoil the ending, but the ending is also very sad. Takobi's original sin is definitely gonna make you cry. And the trailer, actually, I translated the trailer, so if you want to see the trailer on my YouTube channel, you can. I don't know if it's been an official translation or not. I haven't checked, but the animation looks very cool. It looks very like. What is the word? Moody, kind of? Like, it looks... I can't think of the word to use, but it looks like a moody, kind of. Like, you can tell it's going to be sad. And also, the cast is good, too. Ueda Reina is in so many new anime, though. She's in, like, every new anime that... Like, when I look at the cast for any new anime, she's, like, in the cast. And I don't know how she has so many roles. It's pretty amazing, honestly. She must be a very popular voice actress because she seems to be in every new anime. She also sings good, too. Anyway, oh yeah, I'm also really excited for the Kimitsubaki Studio anime. I'm a huge fan of Kimitsubaki Studio. They're a music group. I don't know if the story will be like in the game or not, though. I think it'll be kind of different. The game that I played, it's a rhythm game. It's called Kimitsubaki Studio Ensemble, and it was more so about the isotope versions, which are like the vocal synthesis versions. Their designs are like mostly white, like their hair is white and like their clothes are white. I would say they look pretty like futuristic, maybe would be what I'd use to describe that. Yeah. They're more so the main focus, but in the flashbacks, the girls are shown as well. I think that the anime is going to be different. I think the story is going to be a little different. Obviously, it's going to be about Kimitsubaki City, because all of Kimitsubaki City stuff is kind of about Kimitsubaki City, the place, but I don't know what story is going to unfold there. I don't know. I don't think it might be a little bit different. I don't know if the bad guys are going to be the same as in the game or not. Honestly, I have no idea. I don't even know if a trailer has been released for the anime. I'm assuming it's coming out in 2025, but I don't know much about what's actually going to happen. But I am a big fan of Kimitsubaki Studio. All the singers are very good. They're amazing, really. And all of them sing in like a different style, so it's interesting to listen to every one of them, really. Like, I really like all of Ka's music, honestly. Her music is very cool. She has a cool singing voice. Really, all of the members of Kimitsubaki Studio are great singers. So, I'm excited. I'm definitely going to watch Kimitsubaki Studio's anime. I don't know when it's going to come out or even how long it's going to run, how many episodes. But I'm going to try to watch it. And I want to try to get, like, I don't know if ReZero has Nindroids or not. I know that it has Nindroids. I wanted to say that I don't know who all has Nindroids in ReZero. I kind of want some of the ReZero Nindroids. I know Grim and Ram have Nindroids. I know that Beatrice has a Nindroid, and Miss Crochet, she has a Nindroid. I've seen her. I'm gonna assume the Super has a Nindroid. I haven't seen him, but if all the other characters have Nindroids, I'm gonna assume the Super has a Nindroid. I don't know who else has a Nindroid, but I want to kind of get some of their new droids. I think that'll be cool. And also, we were talking about Sakamoto days earlier. Sakamoto has a Noodle Stopper figure now. And his Noodle Stopper figure actually makes sense because he's holding ramen noodles. I was always so confused why Noodle Stopper figures are called Noodle Stopper figures. I don't get why they're called that. He actually makes some kind of sense, though. Because he's holding ramen. It actually makes a little bit of sense. Anyway, I actually thinking about next Friday. I'm gonna do another live stream probably at the same time. I won't guarantee it because my schedule can be kind of crazy, but I'm gonna try to. And I think I'm doing a Synthesizer V live stream. It's kind of like Vocaloid, but it tends to make more realistic vocals. I don't actually have Vocaloid. I actually like Synthesizer V better. I like the way it sounds better. I like both though, but Synthesizer V is very cutting edge technology. Oh, thank you. Happy New Year to you as well. I'm gonna try to do that next Friday. I think it'll be interesting. The song will probably be. There's a song called Comparison Syndrome. I'm gonna try to do that one, I think, because the Vocaloid Una is one of the Vocaloid singers. The Vocaloid Una, I have her Synthesizer V voice right now, and I'm trying to do it more realistically. Not really. I don't really sing that much. I actually don't really like singing. I never sing. I have, that's why I like doing the vocal synth stuff, because I do like music, but I just don't like singing. Also, I have another channel, too. I don't think a lot of people know about my other channel, but, like, since we're talking about Synthesizer V stuff, the Synthesizer V, my Synthesizer V cover videos, and my Utao is also like Vocaloid, but it's more open source, like anybody can make an Utao voice bank. I have another channel where I do that kind of stuff, and yeah, it's my other channel is for music stuff mostly. I didn't want to do them on the same channel because I thought that it would be too much on one channel. Like, people that want to watch voice actors might not also be interested in Vocaloid, even though I do translate Vocaloid songs on this channel. I thought it'd be a good idea to do it as a different channel. Anyway, the other channel, I have a link to it in the description, I think, but my other channel is Arashi Bori. So, and I also have Instagram. I left the link there, actually, in the description. On my Instagram, I mostly just post pictures of my anime figures. I don't want to say that I post every day. I don't really post every day. I try to post every day, but I don't end up posting every day. But I have a lot of photos on there. Honestly, I'm thinking I'm having like almost 300 already. I've taken a lot more photos than that, but that's how many I have on there. And I also have a blog too where I write reviews on anime figures, and it's called Our Nerdroid Family as well. And besides that, I think that's it. I want to say thank you to everybody who watched this, and I also want to apologize for it being so late. Honestly, I had a huge problem the first time. This is actually my second attempt at trying to do this. The first time I had a problem. This is my first time actually going live on YouTube, so problems were probably going to happen. Now that I know how to fix the problem, it probably won't happen again. But this live stream did end up being like 30 minutes late, so I'm sorry for anybody who was like waiting for it to start and then waited 30 minutes. I honestly feel really bad about that. But I don't think it'll happen again because now I'll be careful about it. So, next Friday, if y'all are gonna watch the live stream, I'll see you then. And thank you all to everybody who watched, and thank you to everybody who subscribed, because 400 subscribers is honestly amazing. I cannot believe that. I think I'll be able to do 500 pretty soon, though, because honestly, the more subscribers you get, the easier it is to get them. It's honestly amazing, though. I can't believe I have 400. Anyway, good night, everybody, and thank you for watching. Good night.